Welcome to Story Ray. In this episode, we're going to talk about it.
Hey, guess who's back? Yeah, out here getting my exercise this evening. So, let's talk about reparations. Now, we all know the history of this country, basically, when it comes to descendants of slaves and the slaves themselves. Always there is dishonesty, deception, inequality, the usual stuff. So, in recent times, I guess, more and more people have been talking about the reparations thing. And, well, one of the problems is this country is built with a promise of an underclass. That was the history in terms of people coming, a nation of immigrants. But one of the promises was you could be at the bottom of society wherever you come from. And as soon as you came here, you were no longer at the bottom because you were elevated above the black slaves. So it's like a foundation. If you have a house built on a particular foundation, and then you say, well, how do we take away that foundation that everything else is standing on top of? Then the house might topple, or it will topple and fall over. So that's a major problem for this country in terms of reparations. If you elevate the permanent underclass, and of course there's exceptions, there's always exceptions. There's plenty of descendants of slaves who have done very well for themselves. But without that foundation, this unique style of capitalism that has endured in the United States would cease to exist. So that's one problem. Now, I propose something that I've heard a few other people say. But the people who are trying to get or pushing for reparations, they're going about it in the wrong way, slightly, or maybe more than slightly. They're looking at it like they're trying to hit a home run when they should just be trying to get on base. One thing about this country, historically, it's always a process. Step by step is how change happens usually, unless it's a violent revolution. And even then, it's mostly steps. So I propose that the focus on reparations should focus on step one, the first step, rather than trying to get this home run, big chunk of money. That's not realistic. You can't empower the people that you need to be at the bottom. But so this whole idea is first step, or step one, with reparations. We can focus on step one, and then once you achieve that first step, the next step, step two, and step three, whatever, until your end goal is achieved. Now, hang on here. The first step, in my opinion, should be that no Black Americans or descendants of slaves should pay any type of taxes. No property taxes, no income taxes, no sales taxes for approximately 350 years. Roughly the time of slavery and Jim Crow. And that's just an estimate. So for the next 350 years, none of the descendants of slaves should be paying any kind of taxes. And that's obvious why, right? Now what that first step does is it cancels out the argument where people say, well, where's the money for reparations going to come from? Well, you can cancel the taxes. That doesn't take any money. And the other thing it does is you begin to establish a record of lineage. Because they talk about, oh, when reparations a subject comes up, they talk about, well, we need to do a study. No. If we start with the first step, that would be the study. So some people who may not qualify would try to get the benefits. But it's a lot easier to go back and verify. Just give the people, whoever claims to be a descendant of slaves, give them the benefit, no tax benefit, and then begin going back. And the IRS could definitely do this. Go back and verify everybody. And those people who are not supposed to be getting benefits will have to start paying their taxes again. But what you also do at the same time is you create a record of who deserves benefits, for one, and for two, you also validate the fact that it is not a gift, it is a debt that is owed. And you begin the arduous task of repaying the debt. But you start with that first step would be to establish who's going to receive reparations. And doesn't take any tax dollars to do it, right? Also, historically, when black people did have land, it was often taken from them through the fact that they used the idea of property taxes to do it. They still do that today, quite a bit. So this way, if you don't put these safeguards in place beforehand, before you receive reparations, and anything you do get the system is just going to take it back, right? And another thing to be mindful of is we should get a choice whether you want like land or money or whatever, or a mixture, because if they ever gave Black Americans dollars, that would mean they were about to devalue the dollar, which they can do at any moment. And it possibly is being devalued as we speak. So that's something to be worried about. The day they say, here's your dollars, you can pretty much bet that those dollars will shortly be worthless. But land is land, right? So, first step, reparations has to be done in steps, in my opinion, rather than trying to get it all at once, like a big lottery win or something. Nah, it's too easy to stop that, right? It's too easy to come up with excuses if you go step by step. That's the way a lot of things in the past have gotten accomplished in this country. So I think that's the method that needs to be undertaken.
The time for reparations is now. Take the first step. Get a t-shirt. Get somebody else a t-shirt. Make it known the descendants of slavery shouldn't be paying any more taxes. Our people have been taxed enough.